Well, good evening. I'm Rick Dancer, and we are in for an interesting show right now. We are at Esthetics Northwest Services LLC, which is over off of Centennial in Eugene. And, well, I'll let Michelle and Ian kind of explain what they do. But basically, this is clinical tattooing. And so this is, yes, it's art. And they are artists. But what we're doing tonight is a woman who's had breast cancer, had her breast removed, and does not have a nipple. And so Michelle is going to tattoo a nipple on this woman and Cammie. And then we're going to show you a little bit about what Ian does too as we come in here. But I'm going to kind of take you into the room and pull up my mask a little bit. There we go. That's Cammie. Cammie, wave with your hand. And that's Michelle.
Hello.
She's awesome. So I'm going to slip to you first, Michelle.
Okay.
So I'm going to have you talk a little bit
Okay.
about what you're doing here.
Okay. So I am replacing what has been lost due to breast cancer on this young lady here. And basically we're just using an ancient art of tattooing to create a realistic looking nipple and areola. And there was an old way that people did it, and I've discovered a new way through a colleague of mine, and her name is Stacy Ray Weir. She's down in California from Canada, and her method is the bomb. So following her and going with her guidelines, and then of course my mentor getting me into all this to begin with, Judith Colt Pearson, this has been just something that has opened me up to who I am and what I am, and given myself my wings.
And you do this freestyle. I mean, basically.
I do. Well, I draw on. I did draw on. And then I'm going to be going through Stacy and getting her method, which is old school artist. You use a stencil just like a tattoo that you would normally do on the body. But with this case here, I was able to use what she already has on the other side, and I'm able to wing it, I guess you could say. I just measured her, and I'm able to copy the other side to this side. So, okay. If that makes any sense.
That does make sense. So you guys, here's what, so there's different, just like all of us, there's different skin color. So Michelle lines up the right skin color because you obviously don't want the wrong skin color on your breast. And Cammie's going, oh my gosh, make sure it's the right one. And
that's something I've gotten really good at, and it takes practice, a lot of commitment. I commit myself to this wholeheartedly with every ounce of everything that I am and what I do. I put a lot of effort into this, because if it's not your passion, and if it's not something that you care about, and if it's not something that you understand on more than just what you see, on the metaphysical aspect, I mean, we're more than just the skin, we're way more than the cancer. And the greatest thing about it is this woman right here, she's here with us. She survived. She has lived through some hell, like I myself did too, but mine was thyroid cancer that spread 6 times total. But her situation, she's a survivor. We're cancer survivors, and that's huge in my heart.
So Cammie, can you tell me what happened with you and what was going on, okay?
Well, it's kind of strange. I got a spider bite on my breast, and it was crazy. I went into the doctor, and they're like, oh, there's a lump in there, and we were doing this and doing that, and a couple months later we found out it was breast cancer, and I tell you what, I hate spiders, but that one saved my life, and probably, I don't know, I found out February 28th, and March 3rd, I got my mastectomy, complete breast removal, and they got 98% success rate on the breast cancer, and that was 2010. So I've been cancer-free for, going on, 11, 12 years, something like that.
So the left one you had, they saved the left breast,
Yes,
right?
yes, there was nothing in the left breast. It was just
And the right one, so then they put what is it,
it was a trans flap. Trans flap is where they take the skin from, skin and the muscle from my back, and they bring it underneath, and they keep the blood vessels, and everything intact, and they kind of maneuver it down, through my side up to my front, and attach everything, and and I just had this done 2018, so just a couple of years ago I had this done.
And that's another important aspect. You have to be medically cleared to be able to get this done. It has to be fully healed. You have to understand that there are many different factors, not just tattooing. You have to take into consideration that this breast tissue must be ready and must be malleable.
Smoking, drinking, because cigarette smoke, it prevents you from healing.
Yes, it takes away the blood vascularity to the tissue.
Yep, takes away the vascularity, and you can't be smoking, you can't be, you got to be healthy, very, very healthy.
Hi, guys.
So why is it important? You and I've talked here a little bit, but the nipple is part of it. It doesn't look the same if you don't have a nipple.
Right. Well, it's all about mental, and that's why a lot of people say, "Well, you got a boob job free." No, it's not free. It's the insurance pays for it, but it's because it's a mental. It's a mental thing. I mean, you take away any part of your body. I mean, especially for women, you don't feel like a woman anymore. You don't, you feed your children. That's how you rear your children. I mean, it's huge. I can't explain the mental aspect of it, unless you're there, and God Lord knows nobody wants to be there, but it's mental, and I'm very excited right now. I'm so glad I found Michelle.
You are really. I am. You got tears. You have tears in your eyes.
Yes.
I'm nervous. I'm just.
I get nervous on camera too. That's why I've been doing lots of live videos lately, because I was prepping for you, Rick.
So Michelle, not to get off topic, but you also have done penises.
I have tattooed every color.
Michelle does breasts and penises.
Okay. No, not like that.
No, but you had a client, and can you talk about that?
I can somewhat. He came from back east. He found me online, and he traveled from back east to have some recoloring done from an injury. I'll just leave it at that. He had a bad injury, a burn, and the interesting thing about it is, I guess you would understand as a man if you were trying to be intimate with somebody and they didn't want to even touch you because it looked funny, or that because it had maybe some kind of scarring, or maybe they thought that there was some nastiness, whatever.
Right.
He needed it to look whole again and normal and without scars. So it was really cool to do that for him, because now he can hopefully be intimate, but he had to heal first. I told him no activities until he was healed.
She puts restrictions on you.
Yes. It's my work. See, once you have work done by me, I kind of, it's my name on you. So you got to take care of it, or I'll hunt you down. Like if I see you on the beach or in a pool, you're mine.
So she's going to come up to you later in life and see you. Okay, let me check my work. How's it going?
Exactly. I'll be like, hey, get out of that hot tub. So that's one thing. A lot of people. I catch people all the time going into pools, lakes, saunas, whatever, after having a tattoo. Please don't do that. Any kind of tattoo. It's a wound. Coming from a nursing background, it's a wound. You treat it as such. It is fresh. It is susceptible. You don't want to get anything in it, especially fish poop, as my mentor Judy would say.
So how long have you been doing? You've been regular tattooing for a long time,
right? Well, it's been a while. Yeah, it's been a while. The biggest thing is when Ian and I bought the business from Judy, that's when it was like go time. So 2019, I know that's just a few years ago, is when I really, really just said that it's time to really focus on just this and nothing else. Prior to that, tattooing, yes, a little bit here, a little bit there. Tattoo school, which they force you to do to be licensed up here, which is great because I'm an advocate for education and I'm an advocate for safety. So I totally agree with the Oregon Health Authority on that aspect.
And you guys do other kind of scarring, like somebody falls on a bike and you can do just to repair it.
Well, Ian can do anything you can possibly imagine. You come up with a concept and he will absolutely create whatever you want for a scar. We did the suicide show the other day, and he's doing some lace over some self-inflicted injuries, and it's delicate tissue. You have to know how to work through it because the scar tissue is different from any other skin. And then with her case, this is radiated tissue, so it's been through radiation. It's been burned by by doctors, and you can even still see her tattoo from that radiation right here. So you need to be cautious on the angle of your needles and the way that you go in your depth, and not chew it up and turn it into hamburger, because that would be all bad.
Okay, so I'm going to do something. I'm
Okay.
going to turn this around. Okay, now. And so we're trying to be somewhat careful because
Yes,
we're not really sure what Facebook
it's gonna do to
is
us.
going to do to us and whether okay, but it's, you know, it's actually,
But it's not real.
It's not real.
But it's real. Not
yeah,
real.
it's,
Yeah, exactly. It's art, and this is a complication that we have in this industry. Some of the most spectacular breast artists in the country get their stuff flagged for nudity or pornography. And come on, look,
right.
that's a tattoo. You
Right.
know, this is a tattoo.
So this is what
art.
this is what they do.
Yes.
So that's a tattoo.
Yes.
I think this is pretty amazing.
I do too.
Don't you?
I'm so glad I
I am
found her.
so glad that this is what we're
I
doing
really
now,
do.
because it's also giving me some healing in my own heart and soul because of my experience with cancer. So if you can give yourself closure on something in your life and see that this is the end, like the end of that chapter, woohoo, carry on, let's go dance, you know, let's go do whatever we feel like and not think about it. But then there's women who will think about it for the rest of their lives.
Yes,
And
and,
this is
that's
something-
where the tattoos come in.
Yes.
It helps them heal. It helps them feel whole again. It helps them, you know, get on with their life and be happy.
Yeah. And this is, like I
So-
said, such delicate tissue. You don't want to blast it in like a body art tattoo. You want to just go real slow, real gentle, and work it, build that color up. Stacey Ray Weir made these needles for this particular procedure. They're grouped together differently. They're spaced appropriately to cover and to put the pigment in a certain way that it doesn't tear up the scar tissue that you're working through. She is fundamental in my growth, and she's fundamental in most tattoo artists' growth that want to do this. So, and she's an advocate for safety and art, and you better know what you're doing.
So Cammie, how do you show off your new tattoo? Carefully.
Well, very carefully.
Yeah, you don't go
Very
into don't go into
carefully.
a restaurant and say, "Hey, look at the work I had done."
That was funny because it was a little teary. Excuse me. It was funny because it was a. I mean, I took it really well that I lost my breast in cancer, and I would always go up to people and go, hey, you know, and act like I'm gonna flash them, and there's nothing there. They're like, oh. I said, no, it's cool. And like, I'm so glad you're such a strong person to be able to, you know, go around and do that as a joke, you know, which is no joking matter, but to be strong like that and hold your head up high and realize that, you know, you're a survivor. You are on this earth for a reason, and it's just. This woman here is amazing, and she's gonna make me whole again. Between the doctors, I mean, Brett Schultz did my plastic surgery, and he's done an amazing job.
He did. These are really nice, and
Yeah.
I've seen quite a few, and I've also seen a lot of botch jobs done by surgeons where they don't know how to tattoo. So they think they do, but they really are not. They're not artists, and they're plastic artists. You know, they can do the surgery, and their work is phenomenal. But when it comes down to how they put this in, it's not just a circle inside of a circle. This is an art. You need to know that there are different aspects that make it real and make it stay for a long time, which Stacey also developed, those pigments that help stay for a long time, not the old permanent makeup ones.
All right, so I'm gonna go talk to Ian for a minute.
Yeah.
You guys keep going. You
Yeah.
keep doing your thing,
Thank you.
and I'm gonna go introduce you guys to Ian. He's next door. Ian, we're coming. Okay, buddy, hold on. Let me turn it around. All right, guys, that's Ian, in case you didn't know. So, tell people what you're doing.
Well, you know, we are,
I'll just hang on
okay.
to it, buddy. You just do your work.
you know, we're always trying to raise the bar on ourselves. So, you know, it's constantly practicing, getting better at what we do now. So over here we have Fitzpatrick scales. So what these are Stacey Weir, who is one of our close advocates and one of our associates and our people that we get along with. She's down there in Southern California, but she has her own series here. These are her needle groupings by Tat Soul.
So when you do this, this is what I didn't understand. So there's different colors, so you can cover
Oh, yeah.
any scar.
Oh, scarring, yeah. That's well, yeah. Another thing as well is, there are tattoos that are scars are created by people who do tattoos wrongly, poorly. They don't know what they're doing. They go to tat school. They think they're this new tattoo god, and they go out and they wreck people. And so, I've been doing this for about 22 years, and a lot of what I do is scar cover up. One of my niches, when it comes to body art tattoos, is cover ups. So,
I'm gonna turn this on you.
And I'll do cover ups. Nothing stops me. I'll do a portrait cover up over somebody's black roses that they did poorly. Things don't stop me when it comes to cover-ups.
So that kind of gets you prepared for what you're doing now.
Yeah, for sure. See, scar flesh is not the same as some brand new flesh, that you're working on. A clean palette is advisable in any way, shape, and form, but when you have scar tissue is it's a different animal. You got keloids, which are raised scar tissue from over penetration too deep, whether it's done by a tattoo machine, whether it's done by a knife, whether it's done by a bullet. So it creates this tissue that sometimes is thin, sometimes it's thicker than normal skin.
Do this for him.
Yeah.
Let me show you something.
There you go.
I'll show you what he's talking about. Get rid of my watch, and I'll put my hand up there.
Yeah.
So there, that's my scar.
Right.
Right there.
And
That is from breaking my wrist. So you can see, Ian, show him, kind
Right.
of touch it, like.
So eventually, we are gonna cover up this scar. Rick and I, we're gonna do something cool, whatever it is. We're gonna decide whether it's a zipper, cool realism zipper, or whatever. We could cover it. I could do a portrait right here if I wanted to. Now I'd use this flat area here for the front of the face, and I'd probably incorporate some hair or something down here. But see how the skin folds throughout this region differently here, where the break was. And then this skin itself, it's no longer this fresh. These fresh cell membranes that are all juicy and plush and perfect and porous, and now you have this hard flesh. So running a line from, say, up here down through this, you got to very watch highly what you're doing, because as soon as you get to here, it's not the same. So when you get to this scar tissue here, you're going to have to pull back on your needle groupings. You're going to have to raise, and lift and be extra gentle and careful, slower, more patient when you're working with the scar tissue here.
But Ian, you could, for somebody who doesn't want like a tattoo like me, you could go in there and put on like flesh colored. You have tattoo ink.
That is
so you
well,
guys,
yeah.
that's what I think is fascionto So they could cover this purple and
Yeah,
all this up
if
for
you
you.
don't want a tattoo,
Right.
and you just want it to go away. Now we can't make it go away, but we can make it appear a whole lot less visible.
Right.
So you come in here with these pigments. These are not tattoo. This is not tattoo ink. These are tattoo pigments. So they work differently in the skin. So just like Michelle's doing over there with her areola over there. We do the same thing over here with your scar tissue, is that we would match up the ink that or the skin pigment that best fits your skin tone. We mix it with whites, we mix it with these different color groupings to bring about the best color match for your skin. And of course, when it comes to that, if you're out tanning a lot, if you're out to the beach, if sure, these things are not gonna they're not gonna tan with the rest of your skin,
Right.
You know, what
But
I
it's a
mean?
way to
You know,
do something.
So, but it's not going to be as noticeable as a huge pink and purple scar that's running up and down your arm. So,
Okay, so now Ian, tell them about what you're doing for people who have tried to take their lives, who slit their wrists, done things like that. Tell people, and we're going to try to do something with this with a real person in an upcoming show.
Yeah.
But I want you to kind of
That'd be
talk
really
to
cool.
people because I
That'd be
think
really
there's people out there who could go, you mean I can forget about this physically?
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for real. So very much. I mean, Rick, you could look at this scar on your hand, and somebody can look at this and go,
Tried to kill himself. Yeah.
he's one of those guys, And for real, I'll guarantee somebody has. They've
Right.
probably seen your show, and I mean, you got a lot of people out there, and people that you have to defend yourself against constantly. Well, we all do. If you're pushing the bar, if you're doing things that are what other people wish they could do, but they don't want to do because they just can't. They can't push it. Or they're jealous, they're upset, maybe you rubbed them wrong, whatever. The world's full of people, but we're in the people helping business. So if you want help, and you're dealing with inner struggles in your life, you're dealing with places that you've been that you don't want to be anymore. You don't want to be stigmatized as that when you're going to the grocery store and you made a bad mistake in your life. Life is about not how you fall down. Life is about, to me, how you pick yourself up and you move on.
And so that's what you do by helping to cover these up.
Absolutely.
You're giving people a break and going, here, let's do something cool with your mistake.
Yeah.
And move on. And so do people just notify you? They come in and because the nice thing about what you've got here is it's very clinical. So it's not like walking into a tattoo parlor.
It's not a tattoo.
What's this says? I should have a zipper over my brain cancer surgery site. Oh my gosh, I love that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and then you can have fun with it. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. I mean, and it's all what fits your persona as a person. A lot of people wear their scars that they've used as a badge, of honor. Like, look at me, this is what I've done. And maybe in the beginning it was that to you. And maybe that's not who you are now. Maybe that's not what you want to be anymore. That's not what you want to be looked at anymore. And if that's the case, then Esthetics Northwest is the place for you. And yes, this is a clinic. This isn't a tattoo shop. We're a safe place. My wife and I have created, and will continue to create, a safe place for individuals who are looking for a place that they don't need to be identified, and they're scared to reach out because a place like this is not easy to find. And we're going to make it easy to find.
Somebody is asking name and number. So give them your name, the phone number.
This is Esthetics Northwest. You can contact my wife at or myself at 541 or 554. Her number is.
You guys, would somebody
Is that
put this
horrible
in the comment section?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Somebody go ahead and put this in. So do you know it? I don't know my wife's phone number. Do you know it?
See, I know my wife's. Yes, I do. It's 225-5235. It's 554-225-5235. That's my wife's number. You can contact the clinic by calling that number. Is the best number. I don't want to interrupt by putting my number on there as well because that'll just be confusing. So, contact us through that number anytime, and we'll set up a consultation, get you in, talk about what it is that you'd like to get done. And like Rick said earlier, I heard him, from across the way. We do many things here: transgender recolorization. Like Rick said earlier, there was an individual who had a scar on his penis. Who do you go to when you have a situation like that? It's sometimes to people. Yes, it's a very personal journey, and it's a very personal journey that is hard to find people that do these things. But we are innovative. We are doing these things. you're transgender. It turned out dark. It turned out black. We come in, we'll make it pink. Simple as that.
Ian, you are so funny. All right, go back to work.
Okay,
I'm gonna go check on our
Come
client.
back and see me. I'll be working on this. Fitzpatrick scale tattooing, which is, like I said, what we always do. We're always practicing to get better. So we continue to work on these skins, and we'll talk about this when you come back in.
All right, buddy.
Okay.
All right, you guys.
you.
So, and you guys actually, Emma, thank you for putting that on there, but it's actually with an E, just at the front, Esthetics. How we doing,
Good.
ladies?
We're doing good.
All right.
Almost to the final finish line. You just gotta slowly build it up. You can never, ever force it, ever. If you force it, like, if you just kind of in there, you're gonna rip it up. You don't want to do that.
Honey, I do need your car keys.
I don't know where my car keys are, on the counter in the.
So you guys, you got to see this because this is so cool. So Michelle just has. I mean, if you get tattoos, you don't, you know.
What do you
But
need
look,
to see?
no, I just love the color.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm so used to black ink, that
Yeah.
kind of thing. But so
So-
she's coming in there with the different colors, so it all blends in, and it's
And then
artwork.
Stacey Ray made these with Pink Ribbon and World Famous Inks. She came up with this entire set, and with Samantha Ray, and they just, the ingenuity of the products available and the knowledge and the sacrifices that Stacey put into creating these things for us. It's imperative that we get this education. It's imperative. You might think you know how to tattoo. You might, but this is a different process.
Okay,
and
guys.
then those skins that she made, they're so hyper realistic.
Yeah.
When you're tattooing it, it feels like skin.
So that's how you practice what you're doing.
I practice all the time.
Yeah, and that's what Ian's doing next door is
I like to
practicing.
tattoo even on fruit. I mean, it's fun. I tattoo on myself. I have tattoos. I might put a nipple on my knee. I don't know.
So again, you guys, I'm going to show, and hopefully Facebook will let us, because I just think it's interesting. So this is not really a nipple.
No.
So don't anybody freak out. But
And
that's.
it's not done yet.
I just want you to see. But look how natural that looks.
And I'm gonna add some little Montgomery glands in there and some highs and lows, and
I'm
and
excited.
then she'll be
I'll be
she'll
whole
be
again.
matching
I'll be whole again.
to the other side.
I'll feel whole.
You're going to look in the mirror and recognize yourself.
I am, or get scared. One of the two. No, I'm just kidding. I'm excited. I'm jazzed.
There, Emma, thank you for putting the website on there. You are Emma. I'm gonna have to hire you. I have the best viewers. They'll put numbers, phone numbers. You ask them to put stuff in. I have like a whole bunch of co-producers that help me get my stuff done. So you guys, again, that's Esthetics Northwest Services,
NW Services.
NW, and
LLC.
they're located right over off of Centennial Boulevard.
Centennial Loop.
Office space number 81. Go around the back. And thanks, Emma. And so if you guys have questions or want to know more information, we're going to be back every month doing some different things to show what's going on here. Thank you, Cammie, for letting us intrude.
No problem.
I would say when I see you next time, I'd like to see your art, but that would be really awkward and weird.
I'll post it before and after on the
Like,
business
no.
page.
I know, Cammie. It's fine. No. And we're in the middle of Winco and she's pulling her shirt off. That could be kind of weird. A look around us is going. And then for Rick Dancer, she did this.
We've been breastfeeding for years.
And I'm gonna just do another little, I might as well do a shout out. Skinful Beauty, after inked, I have to always say what I use. So I mean, hey, FK Irons, I'll just keep it up because they share my work all the time and I'm so appreciative of it. Thank you to the big corporate companies that do this for me.
All right, you guys. All right, there's that. I'm going to take one more look at Ian over here, find out what he's doing, unless he's still out in the car. All right, I've got to wrap up here, buddy, but show me real quick what you're doing. So there we go.
Okay, so here's the gig.
This is how you practice, guys.
These are fake skins. Once again, done by Stacey Weir, and she is, like I said, one of our associates down south California. She has produced these skins. They're probably the best skins that I've. You can go ahead and zoom around here.
So that you just
that I've ever worked on. I don't really work on fake skins very often because if you're gonna practice, I practice on the real deal. But when it comes to these areola, these are Fitzpatrick scales. So these are your skin tones. You know, you got your number 1, number 2.
Does this come? Did you put that on there?
Yes, this
right
is
here?
no. This is my. I put this on here.
So you
to begin
use your
with.
regular tools.
My regular machine. Michelle has the same machine, except it's a little bit skinnier. It's formulated for a woman's hand. Actually, it's FK Iron Zion. It's probably the best machine I've ever used in my life. It's a fantastic machine. This is a battery. I use battery pack. She does not use batteries. I use batteries after doing it for 22 years. Let me tell you something. Having a wire wrapped around your neck and it goes through your procedure. You know, when I do tattoos for 8 hours, which I do all the time, it's very nice to be able to move freely without any of the hiccups. So I love the battery, love the FK Iron, love the disposable. You know, everything's disposable. Right. You know, you're not reusing needles. You're not reusing, you know, nothing along that line. Everything that we do is disposable. Disposable. It's clean. It's one-time use. It goes in the garbage. Goes into a incinerator. So you never have to worry about HIPAA getting diseases of the skin and blood or anything like that. You know, it's like I said, it's very clinical setting. Tattoo shops, though, these days have to follow the same mandate. It's just one of those things.
So Ian, really quick, I got to wrap this up. Mm-hmm. Why do you do what you do? 30 seconds or less.
I'll tell you why I do what I do. I do what I do because the look on somebody's face after I've achieved a semblance of what it is that they came in to do or came in to get or came in to create, whether that's art, whether that's cover-ups, whether that's scarification, remodeling, it's changing people's lives. That's why I do what I do. I do what I do because I love to change people's lives for the better. And I'll tell you truthfully, after 22 years, I don't think I've ever had, and this is honest, I don't think I've ever had somebody that walked away that was not happy with what they got from me. So,
well, if people haven't had a tattoo, they're missing out.
For
I
real,
know that
right?
for real.
It's changed.
It changes everything.
The dynamics of your life.
Yeah.
You know, and what it does to your persona. It's your inner child or your inner spirit being set free by changing who you are, and hopefully for the best. You know,
and art does that.
Skin art does. You've seen it yourself.
I'm living it.
Your podcast, and right, and you know what? It becomes a
obsession.
It becomes an obsession.
So
clearly,
yeah, Ian's like the perfect example of what happens if you keep going. Oh, it's everywhere.
Yes, I do what I do because I love to see people grow and change for the better. That's what I do. Believe it or not, that is my ultimate goal. And at the end of the day, when you make people happy, you make yourself happy. And I want to be happy, and I want other people to be happy. And the world is not just this happy place. But I will tell you, there is happiness that does come out of striving to get the things that you want. And here at Aesthetics Northwest, if this is something that you're looking for, if you don't know where to go, you didn't know where to go before, well, this is the place to go. If you need help, and if we can help you, we will do the best that we can to help you. So,
all right, buddy.
Have a great night, Rick.
And thanks, buddy.
I love you as always, man.
You too, buddy. I'll be back.
We'll see you next month.
I want you to see the lobby. This is where you get to sit. It's just really comfortable and very non-tattoo shop looking. Which there's nothing wrong with a tattoo shop, but sometimes if you're getting this kind of sensitive work done, you want to be in a clinical setting. All right, you guys, again, I am Rick Dancer, and we will see you tomorrow. Have a good evening. Share this on your page because you never know what scars people are dealing with that they would like to take care of forever so they can be the person that they were or the new person that they want to be. All right, we'll talk to you guys later. Share it on your page. See ya.